Nick, tell us all about yourself. And then most importantly, say your last name.
Yes, my name is Nick Bonitatibus. I'm the owner and founder of Digital Champions, and you know, it there is a huge lack of knowledge about home care and what it is and all of the different aspects of home care. And it's really our mission to help you become an expert and to get this information out there to help people that are desperate for this information. And
Yes, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. I mean, how long have we been talking about this? I've known you for a very long time. Even though I know I'm way older than you, we have known each other for a long time, and education is what it's all about.
Yeah, I think 2014, almost 10 years.
Yeah. Whew. That doesn't seem possible. That makes me feel really old. But well, okay. So having said that, tell us, I've got a series of questions I'm going to ask you, and I know you're brilliant at helping home care agencies with this stuff. So how can agencies stand out online? What do they need to do?
Yeah, the biggest thing, right, is how are you different from other organizations that are out there? And a lot of times when, I ask this question, I'm at an event and people say things like, "Oh, we got the best care, or we got the best caregivers." And if you're at an event and somebody says that and you look around, it's likely that like 10 other people or more are saying the exact same thing. And so if they're saying the exact same thing, then that clearly is not what makes you different. And so, what truly makes you different? And this is where, and Val and I were talking about this before we jumped on, is really you. You are what makes your business different, you and your story. And being in this business for a decade, I have had the privilege of talking with so many home care owners and agencies and hearing your stories, and they are powerful. I mean, I was on a call with one of my clients recently, and I'm on the verge of tears hearing him talk. And I had to collect myself. Like, "You're working, Nick. You need to pay attention to what he's, like give feedback and take notes." But I was just overwhelmed by his story and why he got into this business. And I know that you have an amazing story to tell. And Simon Sinek says, people don't remember what you do, they remember why you do it. And if you can get out there, share your why, even if it's simply putting your story in written format on your website, but if you want to take it to another level, getting it on video, really showing yourself authentically of who you are and why you got into this business, you will stand out.
Yes. Okay. So my job, or our job here at Approved Senior Network, is to create websites and digital marketing. And we wish 100% that more of our clients would do video and tell their story. And it is so hard. And when you create websites, you're putting all that information in print, online. And we've done thousands of websites at this point. And to differentiate yourself online is hard. Yes, your colors are different and your logo is different, but what are you really saying? There's only so many ways you can slice home care, right? So telling your story, either on your About Us page or in video, preferably in a video, is so compelling. And I've seen some amazing videos. I have seen some that I'm like, oh my God, I've watched 1,000 of these and read 1,000 websites. And still, I am moved every single time somebody does a really good video about why they got into this business. It doesn't have to be professionally done. It can be you in like a Zoom call, a camera, a phone, a good lighting, and a nice microphone, and you're done. I mean, it doesn't have to be amazing. So as far as the look and feel. So anyway, I'll let you
Yeah,
answer.
no, to add to that too, because you just bring up a great point, is really like, I think people have this idea that things need to be so super polished and crazy professional. And the truth of the matter is that in home care, above any other business, people are looking for authenticity. They're looking for real people, and they're not looking to work with some logo or corporate. And again, not just clients, caregivers, right? Referral partners. That's why, like, this is the first video that my clients and I make is your story, because there's so many applications of using your story. Your website is just the first place that your video goes, but then we're sharing it to social media. We're sending it to caregivers in your automated process, in your marketing funnels that Val can help set up for you, right? Like, there's so many ways to incorporate this video where you're building this asset that you can just send again and again and again. And when it's real and it's authentic, it doesn't matter how it looks. If you are just speaking from your most authentic self, it's going to resonate with people. Maya Angelou says people don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. And that's exactly what this video is doing, is connecting with people on a personal level.
And you probably already answered this question, but I'll just make sure we hit them all. Why is video so effective when marketing home care agencies?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hard.
That's the one of the number one reasons, right? Is really understanding that you are taking care of someone's loved one. You're not selling a hot dog, right? It doesn't matter, right? You're taking care. Someone's life is in your hands in many cases, and you're keeping them safe at their home. And so the trust is the most important thing. People need to feel like they can trust you. And yes, is it good to tell your story in a written format? Yes, but anyone can do that. Anyone can write up something and have it be read. But think about this from a context of sending an email. Have you ever sent an email to someone or text message, and then someone freaks out or misinterprets your tone based on the message that you sent? It happens all the time. But when it's in a video format, there's no contradictions. It's like, this is how it is. This is how you meant to say it. This is the tone that you're portraying. And so you're able to connect with people on that deeper level. And so they're going to want to go with you. This happens on a regular basis. I just had a client last week I was talking to. They just hired some new marketing reps for their organization, and they were kind of on the fence. They weren't sure if they were going to join the team or not. He sent them the videos, and then boom, they were like, we've been looking for a company to work for like you, like we're in. And so straight up, my client was like, it worked. It closed them. And he said the same thing. It works with sending it to client prospects. Like, it is a sales tool for attracting caregivers, clients, referral sources that you can use again and again and again. And it just becomes so powerful to use this again and again. But it has to be you. It's got to be real. It's got to be personal. It's got to be authentic. That's how it drives results in that video format. And if you're thinking, oh, no, I can't do this. I can't be on video. I don't want to be on video. Think about how many other people are saying the same thing. This is how you can stand out and be different. Because if other people aren't willing to do it and you are, now you're already differentiating yourself from those other people.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% come out from behind your website. I think I've said that for a gazillion years. Come out from behind your website, from your online, come out from behind your logo and show people who you are and that you care about them. And there is no way you could be in this business for any length of time if you didn't care, because it is a tough business. So show them why you stay, why you're here, why you got started, why you have been in this business for 10 years. It matters to people. It really does.
I love that.
Yeah. So would you say that the type of video you create first, this would be your why?
Yes. Yeah. It's number one, because at the end of the day, I know what home care agencies need. Right. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not a video marketing agency. Technically we have a video marketing agency, but that's not how I define myself, because I have been in home care for 10 years. So it's more about like, yes, we've got this video, but how are we using it? Mm-hmm. And so because there's so many applications to using your why video as this asset, it's always the first video that we dive into because it's so powerful. And just this video alone has the potential to drive results for your business. So if there was one video for you to make, that's where you start. That's the first one.
Absolutely. Your why. Get to know, let people get to know you. Okay. So what about, you just talked a little bit about hiring and the power of that video with hiring, but what about caregiver recruitment?
Yeah. So as you know, as everyone knows, if you're, in this industry, that attracting great caregivers is difficult. And, it's supply and demand, right? There's a huge demand for caregivers and there's not a lot of caregivers out there. Actually, one of my clients says that there are, but the good ones, right? You want the good ones. And
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing, is attracting the best people. And what is the best way to sell, right? And I use this word very intentional, and because we need to sell to our caregivers. And how are we leveraging sales? And so when you go to, let's say, Amazon, what do you look at? You look at reviews, right?
Yep.
And so what we do, this is kind of like video number 2 that I help my clients create, is what our recruitment video, and it's focused on getting caregiver testimonials and using them in creating a compilation video of your caregivers talking about how great your company is. And then we have very specific questions that are designed based on sales psychology to leverage and connect with those caregivers that are searching. But the idea behind this is, look, I can stand up here and I can be like, I am so amazing. I'm like the best. There's no one better to me than anyone. You should just work with me, right? I can say that all I want, but what's better if you go to my website and you see the testimonials page and there's over 25 videos of people talking about how great I am, which is going to be more impactful. And so that's the same thing that we're doing here, is getting real caregivers, your caregivers, and them talking about why you are great to work for. Now, that potentially brings up other things that if you're not a great company to work for, it's going to be tough to, and so that becomes a fundamental piece of, if you're taking care of your caregivers and they love working with you, they're going to have amazing things to say. And then you can use what they say as, again, this asset. And then you can use the same video in your caregiver automation. You can embed it in your Indeed websites. You can put it on your caregiver application page on your website to drive more people to convert. And again, so there's so many applications to this, but again, social proof, that's what we're doing. Reviews, testimonials, that is your most powerful sales tool for attracting caregivers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we don't see enough of that. You hit the nail on the head, because we do not see enough caregiver focused videos that are the caregiver saying how much they love working for a certain company, or the benefits, or how much they love their job in general. I mean, we just don't see enough of it. I love seeing stuff like that. And so would anybody who is applying. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they have amazing things to say. And what's really cool about this kind of strategy when you get these caregiver testimonials is that it actually does a few things. So one, we do it in this like interview process where they come into your office. And so now it's another touch point, right? To bring in your top caregivers and hey, how's it going? How's your family? Like, hey, here's some coffee, right? It becomes this whole aspect. And then after the interview, this is what I've been telling my clients too, is like, after the interview, use this opportunity to ask them additional questions, where it's like, hey, like, are there any things that maybe we could be doing better? So if in the caregiver testimonials, if they don't say anything about communication, then maybe you're like, I noticed you didn't say anything about like our communication. Do you feel like there's areas that we can improve, right? And so based on what they say or don't say, you can then elaborate how you can do better. Maybe they do say communication, but then you can say, well, what could we do even better to have even better communication? And so now not only are you getting this amazing content to leverage to attract more caregivers, but you're gathering impactful information to just improve your organization overall.
Oh, that's excellent. And everybody could stand to use a little constructive feedback all the time. So absolutely use that time wisely. You've got somebody in front of you. Ask them all the things. Get it all. Get all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And get the good on camera.
Exactly.
Okay, talk about referral partners, because I know that using these videos with referral partners is equally important. So talk about that.
Yeah. So where it becomes impactful is education. And I touched on this in the beginning of this call is really about how there's a huge lack of information out there about home care, about things within this industry. And so we want to showcase that, one, we are the expert, that you in fact know what you're talking about. And so I will get to the referral partners when I start here first, is leading with your own educational content and branding yourself as the industry expert and talking about these topics that you talk about all day long and just putting it on a video so people can watch it. And like, you're not giving, a lecture in a college campus. You're talking about what is home care and what are the benefits. Right. So, and there's a ton of other topics that you can talk about, dementia and fall prevention. And there's so many different things that you can go into that area. But the idea is, once you have this asset, you can then use this in your market. And so once you've established yourself as an expert, then you can start to bring on your referral partners to then showcase them as the expert. And so one of my favorite topics, right, one of your top referral partners is hospice companies. And there's so much unknown about hospice. Actually, there's a lot of stuff that's known that's not true, right? It's like, oh, they just, drug you up, or hospice is only when you're going to die, right? And so we have a duty to share this information. And so now you're able to bring on your referral partner, have them ask these really, answer these really important questions that people need to know. But it's your channel, it's your show. Then they're going to want to then share that information. Now you're getting in front of new people. And then other people that are in your industry are like, whoa, how can I get on this channel? How can I be on your show? Because when you have an audience and you have a channel, you become somebody that people want to work with. They want to collaborate with, because you've built this audience that you're constructing online. And so, and I see this with my clients, right? Like, you put out, one of my clients' named Jonathan. He made a video and he did it kind of how I instructed, very strategically, for assisted livings, for example. And so rather than in many forms, like, because I actually don't recommend like the typical podcasting. What I actually recommend is that you focus on very specific questions, and then that becomes like these short form, like 3 to 5 minute videos. So what Jonathan did for Assisted Living Week, he had each of his assisted living referral partners, right? Because some people say, oh, well, how do I do it with multiple people? What if I only do one person? So he did 5 different assisted livings and then asked them all different questions. So it was like, what are the different types of, independent communities, assisted living, memory care, and then like, what is, levels of care, and then all these different questions that people are asking. And so rather than having them each answer the same question, he had them all answer different questions. And then there's a whole SEO aspect of like what people are searching for, and based on your YouTube, based on leveraging these questions. But what happened is, he had one of his referral partners see these videos. She shares every single one of them, and then says, Jonathan, I want to be on your show. Right. And so that's exactly what can happen when you build this, when you put this out there, because most people aren't doing video. And so if you give them the opportunity to get on camera, and you're kind of the one guiding and focusing, now you become this incredible referral partner, getting in front of new people, having them share your content. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is providing incredible educational content that's going to help someone in need.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a great explanation of how your referral partners can get involved and how they'll absolutely love it. And I love the different question to a bunch of different assisted living facility folks. I mean, that's great to do a compilation. I mean, and keeping it short. I love that too, because people have zero attention span. So keeping it short is also a really good idea. There's some long form, some short form, snippets and stuff like that. I mean, if you look at, I know that not everybody's into TikTok. I totally get that. However, if you look at one of, everybody's probably in this industry has probably heard of Tipa Snow. I mean, come on. The woman has millions of followers on TikTok. And she's not talking about anything sexy. She's not, putting on her glamorous makeup to do these videos. And some of them are of her speaking, but some of them are her in that video, just either doing, they do little skits, and this is all about dementia education. TikTok, dementia education, not two things you would think would go together, but absolutely, she's killing it in these short form videos.
Yeah.
And it's worth doing. It's worth
Yeah.
doing.
And so what we actually do with our clients is once you teach the content in this 3 to 5 minute version, we
Mhm.
actually just recreate a 1 minute version. And
Nice.
so you're getting that short form, but also getting the long form. And if you look at a lot of, top people, educators, influencers in not necessarily in the home care industry, but just in the marketing space, like the Joe Rogans of the world, right? It's
Mhm.
this long form, but then their social is just this short form content. And so I'm all about creating this, kind of technically, I guess it is considered longer form, this 3 to 5 minute window. And then we can then repurpose it for TikTok, for Facebook Reels, for Instagram Reels, because, and I'm sure you've noticed this, Val, it's like Facebook algorithm is horrible now. Like
Yeah.
I keep
Yeah.
using this word and I'm going to say it anyway because it's a little harsh, but it's trash right now. Facebook, it's like if you're not posting reels on
Mhm.
Facebook and or Instagram, then you're going to get such little reach. And so
Yeah.
it becomes a really powerful tool where also YouTube Shorts. So you create this 1 minute version and then boom, you've got it on Facebook, you've got it on Instagram, you've got it on TikTok, you've got it on YouTube Shorts, and it's the same video that's actually from your longer form YouTube video. So work smarter, not harder.
It's crazy how we do videos for our clients, not the way you're talking about it, completely different, just informational, just like a PowerPoint presentation. It's nicer than that, but we went from that traditional video format to reels. And this is just for social media. This isn't the way that Nick is proposing you do this. This is just, our way of doing it when someone won't get on camera. And we switched to reels, and it is 100% night and day how those videos show up and get engagement versus a traditional, regular old, same length of time, just a different format, just a regular like YouTube version of it versus a real version of it, and completely different. There's no reason to post them any other way. And you're
Yeah.
right, it's craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the short answer of why is when you post a reel on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube Shorts, it's basically going to anyone and everyone. Whereas right now, anytime you post to Facebook or Instagram, like it's only going to your followers.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people use hashtags. It's like, I just don't think people are like searching hashtags. Like it's not getting out there to new people unless somebody shares it. And so, but with Reels, it does. It has the potential to get in front of new people. And what's so amazing about the algorithms in today's world, like for example, YouTube, the tags don't even matter on YouTube anymore because they're just listening to the video. Like tags are basically like YouTube's version of hashtags. But like you don't need it because it understands what's in the video based on what you're saying. Yeah. And so like if you're talking about home care and all these different things, it's picking up on the keywords. And so then it has the potential to show up in search based on what people are searching for, right? So, and it's the same thing works on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. They're listening to every single video and then determining that in how to show it to the right people.
Yes, yes. And the spoken word is so important. The spoken word, I mean, really talking, and whether your face is in the video or not, if you're explaining something, I mean, you need something you need to speak. You need to have the spoken word in those videos. It's so important for all the algorithms. So yeah, I totally agree. It's crazy how things change so quickly in online marketing. All right. If people wanted to get started with you by themselves, however, tell us what steps they should take to get started.
Yeah. So one of the best things, if you enjoyed this talk and you're like, I want to know more, I have a free course that you can go check out, homecarebrandmastery.com, or you can just go to my website, thedigitalchamps.com, and you can find it there. The other link goes right to it. But again, it's like roughly around like 2 hours, but it's an in-depth training. It's full content, just diving in. And so that's going to give you some of the stuff we talked about today, but in much greater detail for you to dive in, or you can just go to my website and schedule a call. But that's the free course I promise you're going to get a ton of value, action steps, and how you can get started.
I believe it. And we'll put all your websites and how to get to the free course. We'll put that with this video so that people can, find out more and learn more about what you do. I highly recommend anybody who's watched this, check out Nick and learn from him, because he is a wealth of knowledge and he's been around home care long enough that he knows what your struggles are. And he knows what, how to bring out the best in everybody doing videos. So absolutely. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for doing this. We'll make sure it hits all the channels so people can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Val. Always a pleasure. Appreciate you.
Thanks.